In this tutorial, we will have a look at the Crafter's Target Monitoring File, the overview, as well as how to complete it. Our crafters are very important to us. They entrust us with their stock, and our responsibility is to make sufficient sales for them to ensure they make profit. It is the basis of any business. Sales are required to cover costs of product, expenses, and to make a profit in order to remain in business. You are very fortunate and privileged to be given the opportunity of having at least 100 small businesses in your store for which you become the custodians of these businesses. Along with this privilege comes responsibility. These responsibilities include making sure that stock is sold and not stolen either by customers or staff, making sure the units are clean at all times, making sure that stock is merchandised attractively for customers to want to buy the products, and most importantly, that there are sufficient sales every month to make the craft profitable. Why is it so important to make crafters sufficient sales every month? Let us look at an example. Say you were a new crafter and are very excited to be able to exhibit in a crafters market store which is located in one of the popular regional malls. Note that each new crafter has to exhibit in a store for at least 7 months. You have R1,000 funds to start this great adventure and business opportunity. You have to pay a deposit to Crafters Market of R150. The cost of the stock bought in when joining the store is R300. So already out of the R1,000 you had capital, there is only R550 left. Let us say that the rent to exhibit in the store every month is R150. There will also be an administration fee charge. In month 1, only 50 Rand sales are achieved, and say the admin fee was R10. Do the maths. 50 Rand minus R150 rent minus the R10 admin fee means that you would owe R110, which you would have to pay in. So now there's only R440 cash left. In month 2, there are no sales whatsoever. So now you owe the company R150 for the rent, which means you only have R290 left. Now you really start to get worried. In 2 months there are only R50 sales. So you visit the store and are not in a very good mood, as you were expecting to enjoy sales of about R1,000 per month in order to make your business successful. When you arrive, you start looking to find out what the reasons are why your products are not selling. You find the shelf where your products are exhibited dusty, and the staff are hanging around the counter, chatting to each other and laughing when there are customers in the store. How do you feel, and how are you going to react? In all likelihood, very upset, and may even insist on taking your stock out because you do not trust this team to sell your products. No wonder it's not selling. No customer will buy off a dusty shelf, and the staff are not even attending to the customers in the store. They're so busy having a fat chat, they did not even notice you in the store. Do you get the point of how important it is to look after the crafter's products? Ensure that the units are clean, products are attractively displayed, and that sufficient sales are achieved for each crafter every month. Let us continue with the exercise. Remember, you have been a crafter for 2 months now and are not very impressed so far with the performance of the store. In month 3, sales improve, and there are sales of R150. Yippee! The rent is covered. But what about the administration fee and the cost of the product sold? Still not enough sales to make a profit. In fact, it is still at a loss. Again, let's do the maths. 150 Rand sales minus the rent of 150 Rand minus the administration fee of 30 Rand means you owe the company for the third month running, this time 30 Rand, which means you now only have 260 Rand cash left. Remember, there was 300 Rands worth of stock placed in the store in the first month. Now over the 3 months, 200 Rand have sold, which now means that the shelf is looking really empty. You sit with a problem now. Do you put in more stock or not? You only have 260 Rand left, so you decide to put in 100 Rands worth of stock in an attempt for the shelf to look fuller. But even with this, there is still not the same amount of stock on the shelf as when you started, taking the 300 Rand that you placed at the beginning. So we go to month 4. The sales are 120 Rand, minus the rent of 150 Rand, minus the administration fee of 24 Rand, which means you owe the company again, and this time is 54 Rand, because the sales did not even cover the rent, let alone the administration fee. Now, after putting in the stock and taking the rent and admin fee, you have only got 106 Rand left. And on top of this, there is only 80 Rand stock left on the shelf, and it's looking really bad because there's not enough stock on it. What do? Yes, you would cancel, as you cannot see this getting any better, and you would not have the funds to change this now because the store has not sold enough from the beginning over 4 months. In month 5, you cannot afford to put in any more stock, so there are only sales of 50 Rand. 50 Rand minus 150 Rand rent minus the 10 Rand administration costs means you will owe the company 110 Rand, but you only have 106 Rand left. There is now also only 30 Rand stock left on the shelf, when in the beginning there was 300 Rand stock on the shelf. In addition, you have to pay the rent for month 6 and month 7, which would be another 2 times 150 Rand, which is 300 Rand, plus the 4 Rand you cannot pay from what is owed from month 5. You are bankrupt. No money and no business. All thanks to the team in the store that did not sell your goods. This example just shows the costs for exhibiting in Crafters Market. It does not take into account the crafters' expenses such as salaries for their staff or petrol, etc. In fact, the bankruptcy would have happened sooner than month 5. This puts the crafter's family and employees in jeopardy. They all suffer. It is imperative that teams achieve the crafter's target set out. It is the team's responsibility to do so. How can store management monitor crafter sales on a daily basis to see how each crafter is doing without spending hours and hours trying to get this information? By using the crafter's target monitoring file as well as the crafter's sales daily monitoring sheet. The crafter's target monitoring has information necessary to complete the morning report, as well as information to set up and update the crafter's sales daily monitoring sheet. At any time, click means the left click of the mouse, unless otherwise noted. Open up the operations folder on the desktop, double click. Find the crafter's target monitoring folder and double click to open. And at the beginning of each month, that is the first of each month, the file is to be prepared for the new month. So for this example, we will prepare for the March 2016. You find the crafter's target template for monitoring January 16 file. The month here depicts the date of the latest version of the template, not the trading month. Double click to open the file. The first thing to do is to save the file for the appropriate month. The reason for this is so that your template is not overridden, and at the beginning of the next month you have to delete a whole lot of information. And secondly, also so that everybody knows exactly where the file is located for easy reference. Now, to save the file, you will click on the button at the top of the taskbar File once and click on Save As. The file is to be saved in the Crafters Target Monitoring folder. So double click on this folder name that's in the central block of the screen, and always check in the destination block, which is at the top here, that the correct folder is open. In this case it is correct because it's going into the Operations folder and the Crafters Target Monitoring folder. Now in the file name block, change the name, and you would make sure that the whole current name is highlighted and click delete. You would then type in monitoring of Crafters Target space dash space. The store, in this case it's KOL in capitals, space dash space, and the month, March, space, and the year. And you will see that on this, in this folder we have 2016, so make sure it's going into 2016. Once you are happy that it's going to be saved in the correct location, you click on Save. So at the top of your file, you can see that this file is now Monitoring of Crafters Targets, Colonnade, March 2016, which is correct. This file has got 33 tabs. The first one is the Crafters Sales per Day. The second one is the Progress Summary. And then tabs 3 all the way through to 33 is for each day of the month. And we can go all the way to the end, and there you are to the 31st. To prepare the file, ensure that the Crafters Sales per Day tab is selected. All that has to be done on this tab is two things. The month is to be entered in, and the number of trading days in the month. These cells, the cells where these are to be entered, are shaded in light blue. For the month, you enter in the number of the month, so March is 03/ and then the year 2016, and that is it. No other format of date is to be used here. March has 31 trading days, or 31 days in it, right? So you would enter 31. For April and June, September and November, you would enter in 30. For February, it would either be 28 or 29, depending on whether it's a leap year or not. All the other months of the year have 31 days. There is an exception to this rule. Crafters Market does not trade in December on the 25th or January the 1st, and in some stores on Good Friday. So January will have 30 trading days, and so will December only have 30 trading days. And for those stores who are closed on the Good Friday, and if Easter falls in March, March will have 30 trading days, and if Easter falls in April, April will have 29 trading days. Now click on the Progress Summary tab. Notice how the month is already pulled through. What you have to do here is to select the store, and that is by clicking on the down box and just selecting the relevant store. In this case, we're going to do Colonnade. So you'd highlight and select Colonnade. And then the aim. Cell N1 is in Aqua. There is no down arrow here, you enter in the aim of the number of crafters that's expected to make target for the month. And this figure will be emailed to you from the area manager before the beginning of the month. So for March, Colonnade is to aim for 30 crafters on target, and we would type in 30. That is it. That is all that has to be done to prepare the file for the new month. Now save your file and close it by clicking on the X in the top right hand corner. Get to know how the Crafters Target monitoring file works, and you will be able to monitor exactly which crafters have 0 sales for the month, which crafters have enjoyed sales for the day and month to date, and which crafters have made target for the day, month to date, month end targets, as well as how much sales is required to get any crafter on target at any given time. We have prepared the file for March 2016, but to update and analyze, we will use the January 2016 file as it already has information entered in, and it is also the month that's been used in previous tutorials. The file will be in the Operations folder on the desktop, in the Crafters Target Monitoring folder, which you would double click to open, in the appropriate year, which in this case is 2016, so double click to open, and then double click on Monitoring of Crafters Targets Colonnade January 2016 to open up the file. Should you have a warning box appear asking you if you want to update to links, just click Don't Update. As noted in the tutorial to complete the day end, the day that was worked on was the 20th of January 2016, which would now be yesterday, and today would be the 21st of January 2016, when the morning report and Crafters Targets monitoring file has to be updated in preparation not only for the morning report, but also to plan the team for the day. Notice where the Crafters sales per day and the progress summary tabs are now located in the file after the 19th and before the 20th, no longer in the same order as prepared at the beginning of the month. Each time information for a particular day is pasted in, move the tab to behind these two tabs. This way one can always see where you are in the file, as there are numerous tabs, in fact 33 tabs, which could be confusing, and information could be entered onto the incorrect tab, rendering the whole file useless. That is not calculating correctly, and planning etc. would be all wrong. Seeing that today is the 21st of January and we have not yet started trading, there would be no sales for today. So the sales per crafter has to be found for the 20th of January 2016. So we would click on the tab for the 20th of January or the 20th. Notice the different shadings of the cell. The light blue, employee and code, as well as month end targeted sales, is information that has to be copied across elsewhere, and the light pink is ignored at the moment. Ensure that the cursor is on cell A2. This is very, very important. If the start of information is pasted further down the sheet, then formulas will not calculate correctly to give true answers. And the easiest way to check and do this is to hold down the control button on the keyboard and then click on or hold down or click on home. That will bring you up to cell A2. The crafter sales will be found on the online system. Please use the Firefox browser to copy data from, not Internet Explorer. Log on to the online system using the store username and password. In this example, we will use Colonnade. and log in. In the left-hand column are a number of reports to choose from. For the Crafters Target monitoring file, use the Employee Crafters Targets. Click to open. The store will always be the store whose profile has been used. Even if you don't click, you can't find any other store. The employee you leave as all. From, click on the down arrow next to the number 1 and scroll down to the appropriate day. And in this case, it will be 20. Make sure that the month is the correct month chosen. So again, click on the down arrow and highlight and click on January. The year, it is 2016, so we will leave it as 2016. The 2, you will do it exactly the same as the from date, as only one day's sales is to be copied onto the Crafters Target monitoring file. So we will click, select 20, click on the down arrow, select January. Click on Filter. Once the report has run, the data will appear below the filter box. You can check at the top left-hand corner if it is still busy. If it is still busy, it will be showing Connect. Now, to copy across, you place your cursor over the first name, and it's Abel in this case. Press down on the Shift key on the keyboard and keep it pressed in while you scroll down using the scroll bar on the right hand side all the way down to the end of the report, and highlight everything including the last figure. In other words, you will be highlighting all the data between the two grey lines. Bring your mouse over the data anywhere that has been highlighted. Right click on your mouse and select Copy. Now toggle back to the Crafters Target monitoring spreadsheet. Look at the bottom on the taskbar for the Excel icon and click. On cell A2, do not just paste. The formulas will not calculate if the data is pasted straight from the online system, as the cell formatting will not be correct. You click on the arrow below the paste on the toolbar at the top. You select Special Paste, or Paste Special, and select Unicode Text and click on OK. Now that the information is entered in on the 20th, drag this tab to the left of the Crafters Sales Per Day and Progress Summary tabs. To do this, you click on the tab name at the bottom of the screen and keep the button clicked in and move this tab towards the left. Watch the little black arrow carefully. This will show where the tab will be placed, and if you have it now placed in the correct place, just release. And there you go, the tab is being moved across. The next is to copy the data in the shaded blue areas from the 20th tab to the Crafters Sales Per Day tab. This has to be done in 2 steps. First, A and B for employee and code, and then column L for the month-end targeted sales. Before you just copy and paste from this tab, go to the Crafters Sales Per Day tab to make sure that the correct cell is selected where the copied information is going to start being pasted. It will be the first light blue shaded cell in column A. Notice how that is not the case here. So in order to get to the correct cell, you hold down the control button on the keyboard and press home. See how it jumped to the top? Now click on the cell to make sure that the information will be copied here. This is very important to start copying in the right cell, or else the formulas will not calculate correctly, which will result in rubbish reporting and planning. Now go back to the 20th tab and start highlighting from cell A2 all the way down to cell B200. And to do this, you hold down the left button on the mouse and scroll down all the way to row 200 and across to column B. You will then right click, select copy, toggle to the Crafters cells per day, and make sure again that you're on the correct cell at the top. Do not just paste. Only values must be pasted. You will click on the down arrow underneath the paste icon on the top toolbar and select the icon with the clipboard and the numbers 1, 2, 3. Notice when you hover over the words, over the icon, the words value, or in brackets V, come up. This is the correct choice. When you click on this value icon, the data will be pasted in the format onto the Crafters cells per day sheet. Now we will go to do the same exercise. Click to the tab of the 20th, and we will now copy the day in targeted cells. It's exactly the same way, but it's going to be in column L. So I clicked on the cell L1 and then the down arrow to bring me to the first cell to be copied on the 20th under column L, and do exactly the same. Hold down the left button of the mouse and scroll all the way down to row 200. Again, right click, copy, toggle to the Crafters cells per day tab, and then highlight or select the first light blue shaded cell in column C, and again we're going to paste the values. So you click on the down arrow and select the clipboard with the numbers 1, 2, 3. The copying and special pasting of these 3 columns have to be done every day as soon as you finish copying the information onto the relevant tab from the online system. This is because the online system is updated regularly, and if these columns are not copied across, any new crafter will not be picked up, or any change in the crafter's target will not be picked up, or also if there are now cells for a crafter without a target, this will also not be picked up, and the daily and monthly cells, etc., will not balance either. You toggle back to the tab of the 20th and then bring the cell up to the beginning or the top of the page by pressing down Control and Home on the keyboard. Now save your file. It's now time to look at the data and analyze the Crafters cells per day tab. This tab has a lot of information which is now at our fingertips. We will go through this in detail so that you can use this to the fullest and plan to get your crafters making target every month, not just hope for the best, only to have crafters disappointed at month end and land up owing money to the company. Note that this whole sheet is protected. You do not type in anything during the month at all. All you use is the filter function to analyze. So if you do select a cell and try and enter information, the warning message will come up and you just click OK or escape. Row 1. Okay, the month is the month of trade, and in this case it is January. The number of trading days in the month, in this case it is 30, but January has 31 days, so why is 30 entered? Yes, the store did not trade on the 1st of January because it's New Year's Day, so the number of trading days being 30 is correct. Then we have got sets of 5 columns for each day. So you've got the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and so on all the way to the 31st. These columns will be explained in a moment. Rows 2 to 5. We're going to have a look at that now. Just ignore rows 6, 7, and 8. This example has been created on an earlier version of the template, so the current template does not have these rows. Row 2 has all the headings. Now click on the cell C3. Have a look at the comment on the top right hand corner. It is the number of crafters with a target in the store, and in this case it is 148 for Colonnade. It is very important to remember that we are not monitoring the sales of crafters who have left and their stock not collected, or the selling off of stock, or the CMP code. These do not have a target, but any sales will be included in totals in order to balance the sales figures shown on this file to the RMS totals, which is done to verify that all and correct data appears on the sheet. Now we will have a look at cell C5. This is the total of all the crafters' targets in the store for the full month. So if Colonnade were to get all their crafters on target for the month of January, the sales would be 1,372,200 Rand. How fantastic would that be? Cell D3. It is the total sales of all the crafters month to date. That is, in this case, from the 1st to the 20th of January. And cell E5 is the percentage to the target of all crafters being on target, right? So in this case, the 382,000 Rand is 27.9% of the total of 1.372 million. Not very good for being at the 20th of the month already. Just goes to show not many crafters are on target as yet. Cell F5 shows the sales figure required to make the total crafters targets. In this case, it will be 989,000 Rand. And if you add up this figure, the 989,000 to the 382,000, the answer will be the 1.372 million. So in a second, you can see how far the store is actual sales to all crafters being on month end target. Cell G5 is the potential sales achievable every day if the store team was getting all crafters on daily target each day. It is the month end target for all the crafters divided by the number of trading days. So for Colonnade, it is 1.372,200 divided by 30 days. We are now going to scroll across to the 20th to analyze the columns of the 20th, as this is the day that we have just copied and pasted in. And as mentioned, each day has the same columns which will show the same information. It will just pertain to that particular day, both daily and accumulative. And to scroll across, use the scroll bar on the bottom of the screen until you come to the 20th. Oopsie, a little bit too far. Rows 3 and 4 relate to the number of crafters, and row 5 is the monetary value. Each section or each day section with the 5 columns. The first 2 columns relate to the results for the day, and the next 3 columns for each day show the month to date or the cumulative results. Now, before you start analyzing, check first that the sales appearing for the daily sales as well as the month to date sales balance with what was reported on the day end report for the 20th. And to do this, you would have to open up your daily sales report file, which is in the operations folder on your desktop. And so let's open this up. And let's have a look what was reported. The daily sales was 13,769.85. Let's check. 13,769.85. Do these figures balance? Yes. So it is verified that all sales have been uploaded to the online system and no error has been made in copying and pasting process for the 20th. Now we need to double check the accumulative or month to date. Again, go back to your daily stores report, and month to date for the 20th of January is 382,887.74 and 382,887.74. Do they both read the same amount? Yes. In this case they do, which means that everything is uploaded for the month as well as the copying and pasting for all the days so far this month has been done correctly. Now, start looking how the store performed yesterday regarding all the crafters' achievements. On row C, in column CY, which will then be cell CY3, it notes there are 61 crafters. Now, this is 61 crafters who, with the target, who had sales for the day out of the 148 with the target. So if you were to just hover over the cell, you will see the comment appear, and this will give you the definition of the cell. Number of crafters with sales. Remember, it's on the crafters with the target. And then go down to cell CY4. Alright, and these are the number of crafters with the target who did not have any sales at all. So for the 20th of January, the columnar team did not get any sales whatsoever for 87 of their crafters with the target, which is more than 50% of crafters with the target did not have any sales. It is not a very good situation, this. Check the comment for the definition of the cell. If you add the crafters with sales to the crafters with 0 sales, it will add up to the total number of crafters with the target. So 61 plus 87 will equal the 148. Cell CZ3 shows how many crafters made their daily target. In this instance, it is 10. Again, look at the comment if you forget what this cell contains. Cell DA3, which is the cumulative sales from the 1st to the 20th of the month, This cell has the number of crafters with a target who have enjoyed sales so far this month. So as of the 20th of January, the Colonnade team have managed to get 140 out of the 148 crafters with a target with sales. Again, have a look at the comment if you forget what the cell contains. Cell DA4 is the number of crafters who have had no sales whatsoever from the 1st to the 20th. Again, it refers to crafters with a target. Here again, you add up the 140 to the 8 and you will come up to 148, which is the number of crafters with a target. Cell DC3 shows the number of crafters with a target on month-to-date target. So for Colonnade, as at the 20th of January, it is 7. At this stage of the month, it is not good enough, especially when the aim is 30. Again, the comment will show you the definition of what appears in the cell. As mentioned earlier, row 5 shows a monetary value. So the daily sales was 13,700 odd for the 20th of January. The variance to target, this is to the daily target for all crafters, not your turnover target. So for Colonnade, the daily target to get all crafters on target is 45,740. But they only achieved 13,769.85. So the variance is 31,970 Rand and 15 cents short. That is why the cell is highlighted in pink with red font. Now let's look at the monetary values for the accumulative or month to date. So, as we have already established, the month-to-date turnover for Colonnade as at the 20th of January is 382,887 Rand and 74 cents. The accumulative target is the month-to-date target for getting all crafters on target. It would be the daily target of 45,740 times the number of days traded so far, and in this case would be 20. The month-to-date variance is the total amount of sales behind the total of all crafters being on target month to date. So if you were to take the 382,887 and add it to the 531,000, you will come to the 914,000. Again, the cell is highlighted in pink with red font because the store is behind on target. Certain columns were just mentioned for the purpose of the tutorial as we were looking at the 20th of January. It would not be the same columns every day. Let us have a quick look at the 19th of January. So column CT to column CX would be used. The crafters with sales for the day would be in column CT. The crafters on month to date target would be in column CU. The accumulative sales, or the number of crafters who have enjoyed sales up to the 19th of January, would be in column CV, and column CX would be the number of crafters on month to date variance. And if you go further back, the 18th, it would be column CO to column CS, and so on and so forth. It was just mentioned for the 20th for the purpose of the tutorial. Before you can complete the morning report, you need to identify which crafters with a target are on month end target as at the 20th of January. And to do this, you will click on the filter button in the column F. It will always be column F. And you will filter by color, because all crafters with a target that has reached month-end target has conditional formatting to shade the cell in light blue. And you would click then on the light blue coloring in the options box. Only the crafters who are on month-end target so far appears. As we can see here, we've got CMP, ELK, JED, LLK, and SQT, all showing as having reached month-end target, but not one of these have a target. Seeing that not one crafter who has a target has made target, we cannot filter further at this point. This will be shown in the tutorial Crafters Target Monitoring File Part 2. So what we've established here so far is that no crafter with a target has made month-end target in Colonnade as at the 20th of January, which is not very good. It is very important that every time a filter is used, it is to be cleared. If this step is not done, any other filters will not show all the information required. Also, the next time you come to copy the employee, the codes, and the month-end target from the relevant day onto this tab, you will not start special pasting in the correct cell, which will cause duplicated data, and all figures will be nonsensical and will not balance to anything. To clear the filter in a column, you click on the filter button again, and in this case it will be on column F, and you will click on clear filter from column F. And there you go, all the information appears again. When crafters reach their month-end target, it has to be entered on the summary, the progress summary tab, in columns U for the number and columns Q for the crafter code. Note that up to the 19th of January, the number of crafters with a target on month-end target is 0. We see that for today there is still no crafters on month-end target, so you will type in the number 0 in row 24 for the 20th and column O for the number. Scroll up to the 1st of January quickly. Okay, note that in column Q it says store closed, and this has been typed in cell Q5. This is because there were no results for the day. If we have a look to the left, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? And also no crafters on target, right? This is the store was closed and did not trade on the 1st of January, so the reason has to be entered in here as to why the results are all 0. The only time that information is typed in column Q is when a crafter has reached the month-end target, or a situation like the store being closed for the full day. Now for this example, let's assume that some crafters have made month-end targets. Alright? Say for example, on the 17th of January, LAJ reached target. So in cell O21, column O for the number, and line 21 or row 21 for the 17th, we will type in 1. And we will scroll across to column Q and we will type in LAJ in capitals. You then double check that the number of crafters on month-end target balances with cell M35, which is the crafters on target as at the 31st of January or the last day of the month. All right, in this case, it will not be because we are just doing an example. But in real time, the amount that is entered into column O for the particular day has to balance with the month-end crafters on target, which is the last day of the month. So let's continue with entering in some more information. Let's say, for example, on the 18th of January, RON also made target, so now month-end target. So now you would have both LAJ and RON on month-end target, which would mean that there are two crafters on month-end target. And in column Q, which is the crafter code, you type in LAJ space / space RON. So this says we have got two crafters on target, and who are they? LAJ and RON. So let's say, for instance, on the 19th, BRQ also achieved month-end target. So now we have three crafters on target, and we will type in BRQ space / space LAJ space / space RON. Notice that the crafter code is typed in capitals and they are to be in alphabetical order. So on the 20th of January, no extra crafters came on target, so we would type in 3 again because there's still 3, and we would then type in again BRQ space / space LAJ and so on, or you could copy and paste from the previous day. Let's say, for example, we go to the 21st and it's still the 3 crafters. You would type in 3, and you can either type in again or copy and paste as just done. Remembering each time you check that the number of crafters on target balances with the number of crafters on month-end target as at the last day of the month. So now we have finished and filled in the progress summary report. I'm just going to delete all of this so we come back to exactly the true figures. So there was 0 for the 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th. Right. For now, this file has been updated and enough data is on here to complete the morning report. You save your file. Do not forget to copy this tab and paste it as a picture below the morning report email in the body of the email. Do the copy and paste in the same way as explained in the next tutorial regarding the morning report. And the area to copy and paste will be from cell A1 to yesterday's result. So in this case, it's going to be to the 20th, because according to our example, we are on the 21st of the month and we are doing the morning report and reporting back on the 20th. In this case, it would be cell Q24. And like I said, more about this in the next tutorial.